Hey everyone, it's your girl Hennither Bianca Gant. Super excited about this message that I'm going to share with you all today. I'm not going to belabor it. It has been just marinating in my spirit. While reading the 40-day soul fast, I've joined a group of sisters and we've been reading, and we have a few more days to go until our 40-day soul fast ends. And one of the things I wanted to encourage you all today about are two words, something that I've really been thinking about, because I remember asking a question to the group about what are you supposed to be doing in this season, right? What are you supposed to be doing in the season? And oh my gosh, the book has so many great questions for people to really think about. If you've been going and existing throughout your day and you feel like your days are not filled with intention, it's not filled with purpose, the book has some amazing questions in there that will really have you think and stop and make sure that you're getting into the Father's face. So with that being said, it made me realize, right? So when someone is asking you, hey, what are you supposed to be doing in this season? There are some of us that answer the question with, oh, I know I'm supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. And then there are others of us that might respond saying, hey, I think I'm supposed to do this, or I think I'm supposed to do this. So for those of you that don't know me, I am the founder of Career Image Solutions, as well as the founder of Kingdom HR. And, we're going to have a few more businesses down the line. But one of the things I do understand about business is that nobody is going to buy from you if you think that you know something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a level of confidence that exudes when someone uses words like I know versus I think. You understand what I'm saying? Right? There's a difference. You even speak differently. When somebody says, oh, do you know about, it's like somebody asking me, do you know about marketing? I'll be like, you start doing a little different, start doing a little shimmy, like, you start, I think I know a little bit about marketing. Somebody asked me about HR. Oh no, I know HR. Right? Oh, I know HR, right? It's just different when you say that you know a thing versus when you say that you think you know a thing, or I think, right? Now, here's what I'm saying to us. It's important for us to think. It's very important for us to think, but it is so critical right now in this season for us to know. And how do we know? By seeking the Father's face. If there is an area in our lives that we were pondering about a year ago and we still don't know, would you consider the time that you spent throughout this year with the circumstances of life, with all the, trust me, I don't know what happened to you this year. I don't know what happened, but I'm here to tell you that what you are doing with your life, you have got to seek the Father's face so you know what to do. You do not want to continue through life idly. You don't want to continue through life thinking your way through, right? There are secrets that the Father wants to reveal to you. Now, I am not saying that he's going to reveal every single thing to you. However, there are certain things that as believers, that we should be tapping into our Father for, so we don't walk aimlessly as if we don't have purpose, as if we don't know what to do, as if, no, you might not know the end, but your calling, you should have a glimpse of who you're called, who you've been called to be. You should have some type of glimpse into that, right? Especially if you've been a believer for some time, okay? So I want to encourage us today that if you've been using words like, oh, I think, and I am encouraging you to get into the Father's face so you can begin to know. Hello, somebody. This is Auntie Henny B is coming to you live and direct. Okay, this is not no. Oh, it's okay. No. And if you're listening to me, more than likely, you know that this is for you. I'm not talking to somebody who is a brand new babe. I'm not talking to somebody who like, oh, I really don't know. No, you know that you're supposed to be seeking the Father's face, and in fact, you probably do know what you are supposed to be doing, but you have not done it because you're using excuses like, I don't know what the next step is. There's so much going on. I just don't have the time. I need somebody down. I can't do everything by myself. Do you know all the things that I have to do? Now, I am not saying that all of those things, those hindrances are fake. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that call on the play, time out for the shenanigans of going into another year and you not having clarity. Listen, clarity is currency. I know people think that money is everything and freedom is everything, but honey, freedom don't mean a daggone thing if you don't know what you're doing. Clarity is currency. Clarity is currency. When you have clarity about who you are, what you've been called to, who you've been called to, I'm telling you, the way that you move is just so different. You recognize that you can turn money away because you're clear about who you're called to. When you are clear, when you have clarity, you make decisions differently. When people invite you to things, you no longer feel guilty because you say no, because you're clear, like, that's not really in alignment with who I've been called to be, right? When you have clarity, a job offer will come to offer you X amount of dollars, and it sounds great, it looks great, but you're able to say no because you have clarity. You're like, this is not in alignment. Yes, this job matches with the experience that I've had over the last decade. However, my father said that I'm going to be going into this direction. So if I say yes to this job, although it's glittering right now, it's not going to be in alignment with who I've been called to be. If you know that you've been called to mother, you've been called to, you're going to be a mother in this season, for example, and let's just say you have multiple children, your yeses and your nos become a lot different because in this season you have to mother. Mothering young children is no joke, right? So you can't go being a leader of 4 different organizations. Hello, somebody. Because you have clarity. But where do you get that clarity from? Yes, you can get clarity from yourself, but I did a video about this months ago. There is wisdom that can come from us. There's earthly wisdom that can come from other places, but there is something, oh my goodness, so wonderful about the wisdom of the Father. You can rely on your own knowledge. But I'm telling you, it's nothing like the Father's. It's nothing like the Father's knowledge. It's nothing like the knowledge that manna that comes down from heaven. It's nothing like it, because if you've noticed, you've lived on your own with your own strength for enough time as it is, right? But what I want to encourage you to do in this season, in this next season, whatever it is that you're in, for you to rely on the strength of the Father, for you to seek the Father's face, for you to ask for clarity, for you to make sure that every step is in direct alignment with the perfect will of God over your life, that you will no longer waste another day, that you will no longer let the circumstances of life hold you down and forget who you are, to forget whose you are, that you will no longer associate with people, places, and things that don't serve you, that don't give God the glory, that you will no longer speak words out of your mouth that is idle. You will no longer speak words out of your mouth that's not in alignment with the purpose that has been instilled in you. That is my true desire for you. My true desire is that you become the optimum version of who you've been called to be, not who you think you are authentically. Catch that on the way home. Not who you think you are authentically, but who you know you are. Come on, there's a difference between thinking something and knowing something. When you know something, you know that it's without a shadow of the doubt, that it's no wavering. In James, there's a scripture. I'm always talking out of James, but there's a scripture, James 1 in verse 5, it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives to all liberally. So for those of you that are like, but I don't know, you start shimming, I don't know. Can you go to the Father, ask for wisdom, and stop playing games? Listen, let me tell you some of the things that I've done to help encourage you. Because when I recognized that clarity is currency, I took off of work. I canceled appointments for the whole day because I said, you know what, Father, listen, I could go and attend that meeting. I can go and do this. I could go do X, Y, and Z, and I could go and do it well on my own. But if I am not clear as to what I'm supposed to be doing, it means absolutely nothing. So I'm going to cancel everything that I have going on today because it's that important. Because clarity is that important, because hearing from the Father is that important. And I refuse to let excuses get in the way of clarity any longer. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach. Come on, he got wisdom for you. If there's anything you need, ask. Ask wisdom. Wisdom gives you the discernment. Wisdom gives you the ability to make proper judgments about a thing, right? So you can have knowledge about a thing, but wisdom is it's how to maneuver it. It's how to do the thing, right? How to judge the thing. And it will be given to him. But let him ask. This is verse 6. But let him ask in faith, okay? With no doubting. So for those of us that they're doing a shimmy, don't go asking like that now, because if the word says, but let him ask in faith with no doubting. It's no point in you saying, God, I need wisdom to be a millionaire, but you ain't doing your budget. Let you catch that one when you get home. With no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. Come on, somebody. Listen, I can only talk good to you because I didn't talk good to myself. I refuse to be a hypocrite over here in these internet streets, okay? I can only talk this good to you because I didn't talk to myself. And more than likely, I didn't went through the same thing too, okay? So please know that this is not coming out of a spirit of this. I'm telling you this. This is coming out of the spirit of I want it for you so bad. And if you can learn any glimpse of my life, I'd rather you learn it through me, so you can continue to count it all joy, but so you can understand and unlock the blessings of the Father, because he wants to speak to you. He cares about your career. He cares about your business. He cares about your children. He cares about where you move. He cares about so many of the things that we go about just doing willy-nilly without him, without having clarity from our Father. And I just don't understand how we can continue to do that. And we be like, well, why am I anxious? Why am I, what, have we sought the Father? Have we acknowledged him in all of our ways? Or did it just say in some of our ways? Like, and again, I'm talking to myself too, okay? I'm talking to myself too. But again, I want to encourage you, because the word says that with no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. If you could just imagine something just being tossed back and forth. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just taking every day one day at a time. Yes, there's an element to that allows you to live in peace. However, if you are upon the sound of my voice, you are purpose driven. You know that you're here for a reason, and you know that your life is not just to wake up, go to work, come home, eat, watch TV, and then that's it. If you know if that's not your portion, and you know that's not your portion, then you know that I'm talking good. Somebody need to go ahead and put a comment. You know that I'm talking good. You know that it's hitting your shanana. So I am encouraging you again. Do not be tossed back and fro. Please understand the differences between the word. Think, and now I encourage you to do your own study. Go look up some scriptures and seek the Lord's face. Some of you are going to have to cancel some meetings. Some of you all have family events coming up, and you need to not go. Because if you got time to spend 3 hours with your family members, you got time to sit in the Father's face for at least an hour. You at least need to be going there late. And don't say, oh, I got places to go, God. Listen, you got places to go. Catch that. You got places to go, but you got places to go. And you need to get you some clarity. And the clarity comes from our Father. He wants to speak to us. He loves us so much. And he cares about the affairs of our lives. If we would just turn down some plates, if we would just put some things aside so we can actually get still in his face and see what he's saying, man, my goodness. I really pray that you find some time to get into the Father's face to hear what he needs to say about every area of your life. I really do. I really do. May you get clarity. May you be encouraged today for you to no longer just think a thing, but for you to know a thing and know that that comes from the Father. That comes from the Father. That comes from the Father. So I'll leave you with this. James 1:2, it says, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience, but let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. May you lack nothing, my commanders. May you lack nothing. And until next time, don't forget to command your day.